Children, here you are observing 3D model on interactive flat panel, observing what are the abiotic factors which play an important role in, and they form as interlink between biotic factors. Here you are observing there are number of abiotic factors are there. Water, this is water, rainfall, temperature, wind, water, rainfall, temperature, wind, soil, sunlight. So, these are abiotic factor, and these abiotic factors are playing an important role in survival of living organisms which are present in different types of ecosystem like forest ecosystem, desert ecosystem, fresh water and submarine water ecosystem, and also eucerian water ecosystem, that is saline water system. So, these are the abiotic factors, and these abiotic factors like water, sunlight, soil and wind and temperature, all these are necessary factors, and these factors are essential for the survival of the living organism. So, it is a 3D view. You are observing the importance of abiotic factors. And so, here you say A and another one A. So, A stands for abiotic factor. Water is a abiotic factor and sunlight is a abiotic factor, and remaining are amoeba, fish, algal form and shark. These are called as biotic factors. So, there is an interrelation between biotic and abiotic factor, and this form as an ecosystem, and these ecosystems giving what food to different types of animals. So, figure number 8.1, you see components of ecosystem. Components of ecosystems are two. They are abiotic factors of water, sunlight, soil, wind and oxygen, carbon dioxide, like that, and biotic forms are life form which are existing in different types of ecosystem. That is the information that is given in page number 98, and we are moving to the another page, page number 99, and there you see interdependence between the living forms. The biotic components can be further divided into the following groups depending upon how they obtain food. So, here all animals, all living organisms, they need to obtain food. So, without food, without consumption of food, they cannot survive. So, we are depending for food. So, without consuming food, we cannot live, we cannot survive. So, here the life forms are divided into three categories. So, first one producers, second one consumer, and third one decomposers. So, what are producers? Here you see producers. A producer is a structure, is a life form, and these life forms are plants and also phytoplanktons, blue green algae. These life forms are green in color due to the presence of chloroplast with the chlorophyll pigmented molecule, and these chloroplast and chlorophyll pigmented molecule, they trap the sunlight and they perform photosynthesis, and they are preparing food in the form of glucose, and glucose is converted to carbohydrate, starch, cellulose, and that food is used by the plant for their survival, and large amount of the food is stored in different parts of the plant body as a reserve food, and that food become food to the other living organism. So, that is the reason plants are called as autotroph, and also they are called as universal food providers, and that food is consumed by the other organism and they are called as heterotroph. Heterotrophs, the organism, they depend on plant food. And next one, you see the friends of consumers. Consumers are animals and they depend on plants for food. And these consumers are different types. Primary consumers, they depend on plant food. Secondary consumer, they depend on animal and tertiary consumer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, top carnivores, like that. There are different types of what consumers are there, and these consumers are obtaining food from, especially from plant source of food. And last one, decomposers. Decomposers are the organism, and most of the decomposers are microbes, and they are fungi and also bacteria. And these decomposers are mainly useful to decompose the dead organic matter, and finally they converted these dead organic matter into organic substances, simple inorganic substances, and once again they get back into the soil and so into the atmosphere. In this way they form as a mineral cycle. And like that, we studied there are three types of life forms are existing in ecosystem, different ecosystem. So first one producers, second one consumer, and third one is decomposers. And now we need to understand about producers. I told you producers are called as autotrophs. They are green in color. They are performing photosynthesis, starting from algal form to tall plant like that is eucalyptus or sal plant. And we need to understand about what are consumers. Consumers are the animals, they depend on plants and also other animals, so they are called as, they are not preparing the food by themselves, those they are called as consumers. And also we discuss the term what are heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are the organism, they are not preparing the food by themselves, they depend on other for food, those are called as heterotrophs. So here you see a flow chart. At the center you see friends of biotic components. So biotic components are having life forms, and they are of three types. Producers, plants are called as producers. Why? Because they are preparing food by themselves, and they are called autotrophs. And chemotrophs, they need what? Electrons to do break the organic substances, food molecule, and those are called chemotrophs. Example, algal forms and also human beings also. Next you see consumers. So consumers are of three types. So already we discussed there are three types of consumers generally we observed. First one, primary consumers. Primary consumers mainly depend on plant source of food, and secondary consumers, they depend on plants and also animals, and tertiary consumers, so they eat the flesh of the other animals. So they are of life form, and consumers are of three types: primary consumers, secondary consumer, tertiary consumers, and top carnivores. Carnivores, they only eat flesh of the other animal but not the plant source of food. And now we need to understand about the term that is decomposers. And decomposers are the life form, they decompose the dead organic matter and they made into simple organic substances. And once again these simple organic substances get back to the soil, into the atmosphere, and they form as that is a mineral cycle, and they are called as decomposers. Microorganisms like algal form, sorry, bacteria and so fungus. Now we need to understand about another page, page number 100. Here you see decomposite term. Decomposite term. I told you what are decomposers. Decomposers are the microbes. Some of them are multicellular, and they decompose the dead organic matter. And finally, that dead organic matter completely that is decomposed into inorganic substances, and they may become food to the growth of the plants. So they are called decomposed. Example, fungi and also bacteria. And we need to understand about what are food chains. What are food chains? So here a food chain, already in Mitchell's lens application we observed. So what is a food chain? A food chain is having life forms, and they need the energy source. So the main source of energy is sun. So sun is giving radiation, and sun is having what? Photons. Energy particles are there, and these energy particles are used by the plants, and plants are having chloroplast with chlorophylls, and they prepare food by means of photosynthesis. So in this way, plants are preparing food, and they are called autotroph, they are called producers, and this plant become food to the some organisms like primary consumers, like insects like grasshopper. First, I am explaining, giving an example, grassland ecosystem. So grass is having food, and this food is consumed by the grasshopper, and grasshopper become food to the frog, and frog also once again consumed by the snake, and snake also once again consumed by the hawk. So in this way, food is transferred from one tropic level to the another tropic level. So that is called as a food chain, and it is linear. It is linear. The food is transferred from one tropic level to the another tropic level, and here many food chains, they interlink together to form food web. So food web is a complex structure, and thereby, so one food that is available in a food chain become food to the another living organism which is present in other food chain. So these food chains are interlinked, and finally the food is shared between different types of food chains, and that system is a complicated structure, and that is called as food web. So here you see decomposers. Already told you what are decomposers. Decomposers are the organisms, and they are the life forms, and these life form, they convert organic substances into inorganic substance, and these inorganic substances are necessary for the plant growth, and they give what? Minerals to the soil. In this way, soil is enriched with many minerals, and these are called as decomposers. And children, we discuss what is a food chain, and also we discuss what are producers, and we also discuss what are consumers, and also we discuss what are decomposers, and we also discuss what is a food web. So in this chapter, a different ecosystem, we discuss the flow chart clearly, and we discuss different types of food chain, terrestrial ecosystem, and also pond water ecosystem, that is the aquatic ecosystem, and also we discuss what are artificial ecosystem and what are biotic and also abiotic factors in this chapter. Thank you.